All right. Hey, everyone. Hope you're having a good Friday. Just watching the close of the stock market there. And getting ready to dive into crypto. Just a reminder for everybody that's new to the channel, we've got a free intro to technical analysis online course. It's on our YouTube channel as well. Going to be putting out a cannabis video, cannabis and psychedelic sector, probably as soon as I'm done with this stream. Let's look at all of the pieces of the puzzle that are not crypto related first, that have to do with the broader market, and then we'll check in on Bitcoin and altcoins, and I'll answer any questions that you all have in the chat room from there. Appreciate you all tuning in. Hope you had a good week. I'm sweating. So, Nasdaq. So we ended the week with a bit of uncertainty. Uncertainty in the sense that we don't have a resolution with what we're watching here. We don't have a resistance break and we don't have a clear rejection. So it's going to be up to next week for that to happen. We can say that the bulls keep their control as long as 4-hour EMA 12 is support. And here we are up near those highs. And if we look at pretty much, we're either going to break resistance or going to lose the 4-hour uptrend. If we lose the 4-hour uptrend, we'll zoom out to the daily time frame and we'll have a daily equilibrium and we'll scout a higher low from there. So the burden is on bears in the short term to lose these little higher lows, break these little higher lows, if we're going to see a rejection from this resistance. And if we look at the S&P 500, it's the same thing, little bit further away from resistance, and there is an hourly rising wedge that I'm paying attention to. So if this rising wedge were to break bears Sunday night or Monday morning, that would be a daily lower high being set, and that would tell us that we are going to remain range bound. So that is how we're going to start the week. The bulls are comfortable in the sense that even if we reject, we will be scouting a higher low unless there's some notable bear volume. But overall, certainly a win for the bulls on the week, but more proving needs to be done because we are in a tightening range. So Bitcoin, actually, no, let's go to the dollar first. The dollar. So we went up while the dollar had a real big bull week, which is a good sign for crypto bulls. It's a bearish reversal candle on the daily. Looks like we might be shaping up daily consolidation on the dollar. We will just be looking for a daily higher low to be the result of that pullback. But we can look at this and say, if the dollar sees any weakness, that can only help the crypto bulls. We have the 10-year, which has seen a bounce as well. 3 bullish days, has not slowed down the crypto bulls. And the VIX is all about weekly support. Long drawn out equilibrium. If I'm a crypto bull, I want to see 2374 break for that lower high and lower low. If that support level holds, this equilibrium will continue tightening up, and that would likely mean that SPY and QQQ are rejecting from their resistances and forming daily equilibriums. Bitcoin divided by the Nasdaq, who's stronger? So I pointed out on Twitter the 10-day range that we were trading within here, and we did break that 10-day range bullish, but we didn't break the range that we've been in for the last month. So we broke a little bit, but we want to see, if you're a crypto bull, you want to see this chart break that level to get to the highest. Pretty much this would tell us, if that line breaks, that Bitcoin is the strongest it's been relative to the Nasdaq in over a month, or less than a month, 3 weeks. So we're watching this resistance very closely. Again, it's just one piece of the puzzle, has to break bull. So Bitcoin had its bull break. We broke the daily resistance of 21.9 thousand and saw some decent follow through. We saw over 2% of follow through. All that said, we're not going to expect to go anywhere from here unless we see the broader market bulls break as well. That's essential. Another positive for the bulls. Right now I'm looking at everything with my bull glasses on. We'll put on our bear glasses in a minute. Look at our crypto miners. Short squeeze. MARA doesn't look like much. You say, oh, that's a nice 2-day bull move. Great. But that's over 50% in 2 days. That's a lot of shorts running to the exit very quickly. You see the volume spike and a 59% move in 2 days. Riot, same thing, but to a lesser extent. 28% in 2 days. Coin, bullish, but to a much lesser extent. 24%. So MARA, short squeeze, mini short squeeze, clearly taking place today. The ball got in motion yesterday and followed through today. So that's notable. MARA hitting the highest level in a month. So where do we stand on Bitcoin? 4-hour healthy consolidation. The simple statement is, if we hold 4-hour EMA 12 support, the bulls keep complete control. Now, if we lose 4-hour support, we set a higher low already, 21.1. If we lose 21.1 thousand, we can look at that and say, we broke daily resistance with 0 follow through. That's a red flag for bulls if this support breaks. So into the weekend here and into tomorrow, there's only 2 things that are going to happen. We're going to break to a higher high over the top of 22.5 thousand, or we're going to break support and have this be a daily bull break with 0 follow through, which would be a red flag. What happened back here? Look at the 2-day time frames. So 2-day time frame, we had a tightening range break bull with no follow through, and then we rolled over. 2-day time frame, tightening range, broke bull. Do we have follow through? That remains to be seen. The broader stock market is going to dictate whether we get bull follow through or not. It doesn't have to be right away. So let's say the broader market rejects from daily resistances. Let's say SPY pulls back on Monday. We can still form a higher low and then break bull, but that would have a lot of doubt creep into crypto bulls' minds. Because if you start daily consolidation right after that break, yeah, we're going to look for a Bitcoin daily high or low, anything above 18.7. But again, the doubt would be there and the confidence would grow for bears. So 4-hour uptrend is our short-term guide. Bulls have short-term control as long as they have that 4-hour uptrend. If we lose it, we're going to zoom out and scout a daily high or low. And there will be doubt for the bulls if daily consolidation starts right after the resistance break. The dominance chart for Bitcoin, in my opinion, we want to see Bitcoin lead the way up with follow through, which would have the dominance chart going up. And then we want the dominance chart to set a weekly lower high and break support, which would show me Bitcoin leading the way up, seeing confidence, and then that confidence seeping into altcoins as altcoins play laggard catch up and follow suit with that Bitcoin bull move. So at this point, looking to buy, definitely hard to be confident looking bullish. I needed to see, if we're going to have confidence in buying consolidation here, we would have wanted to have confidence that the broader stock market was going to break resistance, but we don't have that. So patiently waiting for next week to roll around to see if stocks can follow through is essentially where I stand. I did make one ad entry attempt and bought Ethereum at 15-minute oversold conditions off of 4-hour EMA 12 support. That lower wick did knock me out. When we saw broader stock market weakness at the open, bulls then recovered. So essentially what I did there is I made an entry at about 12.16, put my stop under 1200, and ended up stopping out with a very small loss, but that was an attempt for me to increase position size for the potential that the stock market bulls were going to break as well, and that crypto would then get some follow through. So I'm back to being in my small positions of Ethereum and Bitcoin and just being very patient, treating it from a swing trading perspective and waiting for stock market bulls to prove to me that we can see follow through. If I'm a bear or if I'm a hedging bull, I'm looking for 4-hour lower highs right now. So let's say I'm long Ethereum for a swing, but I want to protect in case we consolidate over the weekend. I look for a short, I put my stop over the current high, and I hope for, I don't hope for if I'm hedging, if we confirm the 4-hour downtrend, that protects some of my long exposure. And of course, an aggressive bear is looking for a potential top fish as well. There are many names that there's a lot of difference in the altcoin space right now where some names have much more clear should say some names have a lot further distance to cover to get to resistance. And we'll look at those in just a moment. ETH BTC, daily rejected from resistance. So both pairings rejected from resistance here. The question is, can we form a little bull flag and break out and get to the strongest relative strength that Ethereum has seen compared to Bitcoin in a month? That has to happen. If that does not happen, in my opinion, that's a red flag, because that would likely mean Bitcoin's pulling back and Ethereum is pulling back a bit further. Doesn't have to be the case, but obviously Ethereum bulls want this double top bull break to take place. A couple other patterns. Sand had a 4-hour rising wedge that broke bear. Mana has one as well to be aware of. So just something to keep an eye on. And again, look at this chart for Mana. Inside bar, but we can break bull here from these inside bars, and bears will be watching for the potential of a 4-hour lower high. So let's just run through a few names right now and see where we stand. Sol made a significant recovery. We had a lot of ground to cover to get back towards resistance, but we still have not broken resistance. Look at a name like AXS. Look at how far away that resistance level is. So 4 or 5% away. Look at daily resistance on AXS. Right now, Bitcoin broke 2-day bullish. Other names are testing 2-day resistance like Ethereum. We are not anywhere close. AXS is a lead bear because we are nowhere near breaking 2-day lower high resistance. We're over 20% away. You compare that to Binance, we're right there. We are at resistance. So again, there's very distinct differences. The way that I trade in the stock market world on a daily basis is I've got my benchmarks, which are the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq. They're both very similar. Sometimes they do small differences. Same thing in the crypto as Bitcoin. That's our guide. That's the most important thing. In addition to that, I like to have 2 names that I know have a bullish correlation and 2 names that have a bearish correlation. And then which of those names that I focus on depends on what the S&P 500 or the Nasdaq is doing. So let's just say I know Bitcoin is my guide for crypto. I've got AXS on relative weakness side, bear side. I've got Atom. I haven't looked at Atom today, but Atom has been on the bull side. It's shifting. We'll look at Atom more in depth in just a moment. But I need a lead bull and a lead bear. And then if I see Bitcoin is likely to give us a 4-hour lower high, I look for an entry on the lead bear. I look for a short entry. If I see Bitcoin is setting a 4-hour high or low, I'm looking for a bull entry on our lead bull. So I let I'm trying to think of a name, the guide, the something, the benchmark, the whatever. I let Bitcoin dictate the most likely scenario for me, and then I look to the relative strength or relative weakness to potentially take advantage of that. And again, I do that all the time in the stock world. That's pretty much my daily routine for trading. So Atom right now we have a clear resistance level to be watching. Little uptrending resistance here. Uptrending support. Could go right there. Little channel here. But again, look at this space here. We can go 5% and still be looking for a 4-hour lower high. What's the BTC pairing showing us? Relative weakness. BTC pairing, daily consolidation is very clearly underway. And it's a clear 4-hour downtrend. So Atom BTC shifted from a lead bull to a lead bear. Not a lead bear. Shifted from a lead bull, and then it lost the spotlight. It is no longer a lead bull because the BTC pairing is in a 4-hour downtrend, and daily consolidation is already underway. For most coins, we're watching and saying, is daily consolidation about to start? But for names that have BTC pairings already seeing daily consolidation, we know that they are on the weaker side. Ooh, there goes ICP. So ICP is joining the party as far as names that have confirmed 2-day higher lows and higher highs. We've got ICP. We've got Atom. Who else did it? Matic. Nope, Matic has not done it yet. There are 1 or 2 other names that have done it. Forget off the top of my head. But again, aggressive bears are scouting the names that have not broken daily resistance yet and that have a lot of space for potential lower highs to be set. So ideally, bulls already have positions and are looking to hedge, and bears, aggressive bears, are looking to top fish. I don't really love making initial bull entries at these levels, especially with the broader market close for the next 2 days. But essentially, I need to believe that Bitcoin can follow through on this move. I need the broader market to break as well. That's as simple as we can make it. And over the short term, we are scouting 4-hour lower highs on some altcoins over the next few hours. All right. That's my rundown. Reading the chat room now. Thoughts on the VIX, watching that weekly equilibrium very closely. If our broader stock market rejects from resistance, it's possible the VIX gives us a weekly high or low and continues to tighten. So that is absolutely on the table. And there were definitely bears entering positions today for potential of daily consolidation. Monday is going to be very telling for the stock market, which will be very telling for crypto. Cross-reference. So relative strength and weakness on TradingView, NAS 100 USD. Now let's start Bitcoin. BTC USD divided by NAS 100 USD. That shows you the relative strength or relative weakness compared to the Nasdaq. And again, that relative strength and weakness chart, if we are in this range, we're just doing what the stock market is doing. We have to break this range to be relatively clearly stronger or relatively clearly weaker. And remember the last time this happened? Same tightening range, beauty equilibrium that we were watching closely. Bitcoin broke bull right here. This was a clue. BTC USD hit a higher high right here. The relative strength chart did not. It showed us we were still weaker. And then we rolled over and things got ugly. That was June 12th through June 16th. What did Bitcoin do during that point in time? We dumped. So this is the Bitcoin bull break that did not break bull on the relative strength chart. It was this move. So we use it the same way. If I'm looking at an altcoin, if I'm looking at ETH, if ETH USD breaks daily resistance and ETH BTC does not break daily resistance, that's a red flag for me as a bull. If Bitcoin breaks a resistance, if Bitcoin divided by the Nasdaq does not break resistance, that's a red flag and a clue for bears. So just like we're using, I took, this is all of this that I'm doing in the stock market world, I took from crypto. I took from learning to trade, how to trade these altcoins and looking for relative strength and weakness, and I'm now applying that to my stock trading, and it's helping me a good bit. Over the last 5 years, there have been many different things that I take from crypto trading and apply it to stocks, and it helps me. And this is just another one of them. So XBI divided by SPY, the biotech sector divided by the whole market, we've been seeing this relative strength for a long time now. And it just helps us visualize it. And it was the same thing, an equilibrium that broke bull. That bull break took place on June 17th. And since June 17th, look at that. We weren't breaking bull on the regular chart here for XBI. We broke bull on the pairing chart. And from that point forward, we are now up 25% in the entire sector. There are clues in relative strength and relative weakness comparisons. So ICP definitely standing out. Next resistance level after 647. We can just go on down the line and look at the high of every day back here. So we got 7 psychological, then we got 760, then we got 804. Plenty of space for a 4-hour higher low to form. Next consolidation, BTC pairing, doing what it should. Breaking daily resistance. So ICP very quickly going towards lead bull status. Volume is definitely way lower here. Your average volume on Binance is $15 million traded. That's real low for crypto. You look at Sol, Sol's average volume is over 10 times that. So I personally have never traded ICP. Just be aware it's similar to trading a penny stock in the sense that it is a lot less liquid. A little bit of dollar volume goes a long way compared to a lot of these other coins. How many trading accounts do I have between crypto and stocks? Just 2. I got a crypto account and a stock account. I have multiple stock accounts with one broker. I've got an IRA, I've got a day trading account. What capital milestone did I start legit paying myself consistently? I've never really done that. I take out money when I need it, but if I'm trying to be aggressive, I'm leaving my profit, I'm leaving my capital in my accounts, and I'm compounding my gains. So that's how I was able to go from where I started in 2017 to the thousands of percent gains. If I was taking money out, I would not have seen nearly as many gains. So I know, and I'm not saying don't do that. I know a lot of people like that nice regimented pay yourself, and that helps with consistency and reward and all that. But for me, I'm not taking I try and do everything that I can to not take anything out of my account because I want to grow what's in my account. Essentially, before the crypto boom of 2017, my account was stuck between $25,000 and $35,000 because I was living off of it and I was profiting, but I would just keep taking it out and I wasn't going anywhere. And so you have to, in my opinion, stop taking out of your account if you want to level up. So I want to add to my account. And back when I was playing poker and painting houses, I was adding to my account as much as I could. But it all depends on the individual and their goals and their expenses in life and things like that. When I was not taking money out of my account, I had a $450 a month. That's what my expenses were. Food and gas. That's pretty much it. I was living minimalist. ICP getting follow through. It's not done yet. 15-minute stair step. That's a volume climax candle. I'd be cautious of that to at least put in a temporary top. That's going to be the highest 15-minute volume candle in a while. Hit the like button, please. Thank you, Mustang. Let's get to 100. Thoughts on XBI? Nope, not doing stocks at the moment. Uni USD 4-hour inverse head and shoulders. I don't see one. You must be zoomed way out. 12-hour. Are you looking at it from the daily? As in this big old pattern. Anyways, not sure what you're looking at, but I don't see on the 4-hour, I do not see an inverse head and shoulders. I don't like buying resistance breaks. I like buying consolidation. The risk and reward is so much more favorable. Unless you're in a 2017, you could market buy a new high in Bitcoin and you would be rewarded. And I was doing that constantly, all in. If the all-time high was 13,000 and we break it, I am all in and I am breaking that wall on Coinbase and helping others do it as well. And then you get 5% of follow through right away, and I start scaling out. And I'm not sure that's ever going to happen again as far as the ease of that kind of trade. It'll happen on other sectors. We did it in Canadian cannabis when that was happening. But especially in this market environment, trading counter longer term trends, the plays are entering on consolidation. So the best plays, if you didn't play the flush on Bitcoin of 20,000, and nothing wrong if that's not your style and you weren't comfortable doing so, the times to enter were the 12-hour higher low, which was right here, 12-hour consolidation, the 2-day higher low, 2-day consolidation. You got to enter on consolidation and not on resistance breaks if you want good risk to reward. If we break resistance and equities, what is the next stop for Bitcoin? For me, I'm going to be watching weekly EMA 12 for everything, and that is going to be closer to 27,000 on Monday or Sunday night once the candle closes, or the new candle opens, I should say. So yeah, that'll be closer to 27,000. Even then, that's a little steep of a target for me. It all depends on how much follow through the broader market gets, but weekly EMA 12, essentially when I entered Ethereum for the weekly bounce, I wanted to have a position for a weekly EMA 12 target, which is what I have now. And it's a small position. Obviously, if we go up to 1,600, that small position can still make some solid gains. But we're just looking for a weekly lower high, and right now Ethereum's either going to be a weekly bear flag, and even if it's not, we're just going to look for the weekly lower high. Matic. So Matic's having a good day. Key resistance is 63 cents. That's still 5% away. Daily stair-step pattern. Higher low every day the past bunch of days. And just heading towards that 2-day resistance. We're either going to break 631 and it's going to join the few names that have broken resistance, or we're going to lose the 4-hour uptrend. We already broke to a higher high today, which is making it stand out stronger. We just looked at a bunch of alts that are still 5% away from the high of today. So Matic BTC is standing out with its strength up at its highs. 4-hour uptrend. Have to keep this Matic BTC pairing in a 4-hour uptrend as well. Its daily resistance is a bit further away. But watch the 4-hour uptrend on both of those pairings. Bulls have full short-term control as long as those 4-hour higher lows keep forming. Gold and silver, what happened is people bought for a inflation narrative for things that worked in the past for fundamental reasons, and price action said, nope, dollar's breaking out, we're going down, and it's just been nothing but pretty much just fundamental longs capitulating is what I see on that chart, knowing how everything played out. But it's just out of favor. Price action will tell you what's in favor. Fundamentals can be wrong. Price action can't be wrong. Price action is concrete, set in stone. It's the only truth in markets. And I feel for the fundamental metal longs who nailed inflation. They knew it was coming. They nailed it months before anybody was talking about it in a headline. And they lost money. EOS 104 resistance, we broke it with no follow through, so it is a name that does have that 2-day bull break. Anything under 107 is a 4-hour lower high. Red flag short term for bulls if we confirm the 4-hour downtrend. EOS BTC is giving some red flags. Daily consolidation is already underway. Again, we want to see EOS BTC doing the exact same thing as EOS USD. and it is not. I have some exposure in precious metals, nothing in comic books. But my exposure in precious metals is like 0.5% of my net worth. Thanks for holding down the fort, Luciano. Any thoughts on long potential for HUT 8? No, I don't know anything about the fundamentals. I mean, at this point, any name that's up 50% or whatever it is off of its lows and in a downtrend in every time frame, I have to wait for daily consolidation to have interest, because risk to reward does not favor entries on a name that's already run so hard while we're not in a daily uptrend yet. So if this move is going to have follow through, we will eventually have to see a higher low and higher high. So this is the kind of setup where I either patiently wait for daily consolidation to look for an entry, or I just wave and watch it keep going up without me, because the risk to reward does not favor entries up here. And I can see the upper wick that formed today is already a good bit weaker than a lot of other crypto names today. What do I need to see for a consolidation entry? I need to see a confluence of signals. If I'm looking for a daily high or low, I want to see hourly oversold conditions. I want to see daily EMA 12 support being tested, ideally. I want to see a significant bounce of more than 382 retracement from hourly oversold conditions to create the space for an hourly trend change to shape up. It depends on what time frame I'm looking for that entry on. Time frames and their relationships are key. I can also wait. If I'm looking for a daily high or low, I can wait for bulls to confirm an hourly trend change, and then I play off of that low. And I make an entry and say, that's either the daily high or low, and we're going to see continuation, or I'm going to stop out. And that's essentially how I played the 4 hour for Ethereum. And in this instance, it's a bad example because I got shook out. But I said to myself, that's either the 4 hour high or low, or I'm wrong. And it wasn't. We hit another lower low. Granted, we didn't see much follow through on that lower low, but I was a bit too early with my entry. What time frame do I trade? All of them. Weekly, daily, hourly, 2 minute, 5 minute. What time frame do I recommend for beginners? Zoomed out. You need to process the information. You need to observe things playing out. I would be focusing on hourly and daily charts to start. Watch the relationship between hourly, 4 hour, and daily charts. Watch to see how trend changes on the 4 hour show up on the daily chart. But I wouldn't be zoomed in and getting all this fast moving, fast action until I have a firm concept of trends, knowing what higher lows and lower highs are as they form, and again, just getting a feel of how these time frames interact with each other. Which days do I do crypto analysis? Whenever I feel like it, to be honest. Usually it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I always do a weekend video for members. I do an altcoin request video. I do a Bitcoin video Saturday morning. That's scheduled. But everything else, it's just, I didn't feel good this week, so I just didn't stream. Any of the crypto past videos that would be helpful? Again, go on our YouTube channel and just explore. I know I say this almost every stream, but it's when you've got 7 years and 9,000 videos. I'm not saying go back and look at the video from July 12th, 2019. Who cares? But look at the evergreen content Ideally, if you've been following me for a while and you like my analysis and you like my style, you should be watching all of these lessons and more videos, trade examples. You should be watching all of the psychology and trading lifestyle videos. Emotional psychology for traders. None of these videos have enough views, in my opinion, in terms, all these Q&As. There's at least 3 different Q&As here where I go over how I started trading, how my trading styles have changed. I've answered all these questions over the last 7 years, 10 times each. So dig through our YouTube channel. Volume won't tell you if a security is overbought or oversold. Volume can potentially indicate climaxes. So think about what happens at the top of a move. You get a peak, and we're actually going to see more volume this 15-minute candle than the last one. How do I know that? Because the candle is not half over, and we are over half the volume. But think about what happens at the top. You have the most people selling longs, jumping in short, and buying all at the highest concentration. And the scales tilt. You're going from demand for coins outweighing supply the entire time, and then you get a brief leveling out, and then you do this. And so it's just a big mass of volume from both directions happening at the same time before you finally roll over into consolidation. And it happens at the bottom as well. That's why all these altcoins had massive volume, and then we've been bouncing 20 to 50% over the last however many weeks. And that was a major reason that I kept some Ethereum position from the initial bounce. The volume climax, the highest weekly volume in months, was a major factor in that. Membership tour video was not posted. I'm going to remake it, but I actually need to talk about that with the team. I believe it was emailed out. You can email in to support@chartguys.com and someone will send it your way. Will there be a day I no longer do videos? Absolutely. Absolutely. One of the major reasons why I'm sticking with this, I obviously enjoy it, but now I have a bunch of friends that work for the Chart Guys, and so I'm trying to support their livelihood as well. If I was shorting this space, would I short support breaks? Yes. So let's look at the Bitcoin chart here. There are periods where we should be trading less and periods where we should be increasing our trading activity. And if we look at the daily chart, this is where we trade less. This is where we trade less. This is where we trade more. This is where we trade more. So obviously, on the way up, tightening consolidation, buying resistance breaks worked out. On the way down, tightening consolidation, buying support breaks works out. So the prevailing longer term trends will dictate whether or not I'm comfortable shorting support. I might have just said buying support, shorting support, or buying a resistance break. So obviously we've been bearish here. And it also depends, on the weekly time frame. Would I short a support break of this current range that we're in? No. Because of how extended to the downside we were. What is my risk to reward at this point? Being oversold on the weekly time frame, in my opinion, the risk to reward is much less favorable. You got it, mass trepidations, stick with it. Watch our free technical analysis course, go through all those videos, and ask questions. When will that be? I forget what we were talking about now. Oh, when do I know? When I don't feel like doing it anymore. I don't know. I've been saying that day is coming for the last 4 years. But it's coming. I won't just stop unless I die. I'll just slow way down. Maybe I'll do 1 video a week at a certain point. All right. Thank you, Sky Jones. Appreciate it. I'm out of here. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Do I upload these lives? Yeah, all of these are saved to our YouTube channel. And again, one thing that you can do, evergreen content is content that stays useful no matter what. The daily videos are not evergreen content, but I can go back in time and look at the most bearish days. What was I saying May 19th, 2021? What was I saying February 5th, 2018? So if you want to see different scenarios, those videos are out there. And you'd probably just have to look up Chart Guys 5/2/5/18. Forget how I wrote the dates out back then. There we go, right there. So there's gold technical analysis. There's your crypto. So again, it's all here. I mean, there's... Hello, and thanks for checking out Chart. There is the most complete diary, I don't know whatever you would call it, between May 2017 and probably May 2018. There was a video 95% of every single day of me analyzing the markets and what I was doing, and very fortunate during that period of time to make a whole bunch of gains and then not give them back. So I mean, it's literally, look at, I wasn't even using TradingView back then. That's not the crypto video. But they're out there.